Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben. As always, I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And P.
Hello.
Today's a movie episode. We're going to talk about Bad Taste, 1987, directed by Peter Jackson of all people.
Certainly is bad taste, please.
Fucking brilliant.
Or I'd like to call it Harry Potter the later years.
Right, Mike has a theory about this, which we'll get into later. Before we get into the main show, we'll just thank some a select band of new and returning listeners that I will choose completely at random. Santiago in Chile, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Aktobe in Kazakhstan, Frankfurt am Main in Germany, Warminster in the United Kingdom, Dakar in Bangladesh, Marlborough in Massachusetts, LA, innit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why you two agree? You don't know.
I know, that's a good
I've got
point.
family in Massachusetts.
Ah, right, it could be them.
Could be.
Leeds in the United Kingdom, Brentwood, New York, Prague in the Czech Republic, Morden in the United Kingdom, Ruopolis in Brazil, Copenhagen in Denmark, Kalak Tbilisi in Georgia, Cairo in Egypt, New York City, New York, Bengaluru in India. You're always there or thereabouts, aren't you? Persistent bastard. Give him that.
Yep.
Los Angeles, California, Boardman, Oregon, Bloomsbury in the United Kingdom, Guadalajara, Spain, and Ashburn, Virginia. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time.
Thank you again.
One in Georgia's new, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, we've had that before.
None in Russia
Okay.
this week.
Wow, well, they're being restricted on their internet use. We're being silenced in Russia.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sad that Poland and that haven't got on board.
What for what? Having a war?
Having a listen, you know, while they're bunkering down.
Oh, right. Sure, they haven't got on board. I think it's might have joined in. So let's talk about Bad Taste. Obviously, I mentioned it's started by Peter Jackson, who also plays Derek. He doesn't play Derek in this movie, does he? He plays an alien.
It says he plays Derek.
It doesn't IMDb, but he plays Robert, who's an alien.
Yeah, that's right, Robert.
On the film it said Derek, didn't it?
It did. Well, we'll go with IMDb. It is the gospel. Terry Potter as Ozzy, Peter O'Hearn as Barry, Craig Smith as Giles, Mike Minay as Frank, Doug Wren and Dean Laurie both as Lord Crumb. I believe that Doug Wren passed away and they had to do some audio with Dean Laurie to finish the movie.
Or it's Harry Potter as Derek. This is the later years.
Yeah.
Go on, Mike.
They've killed Voldemort, and now this is 20 years later. They've been training secretly to fight off the alien invasion, if there is one.
But not using magic.
We can't use magic in the
You
real world.
can
we?
use magic in the Muggle world. You
Can
just
you?
can't be seen to use magic in the Muggle world. But if no one's seeing them, then it's okay.
But he has got a magic bag, hasn't he?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's not meant to be.
We'll get to
though,
that. We want to get to just all those actors we just called out, with the exception. Well, they're all Peter Jackson's mates. All the people in this film are people Peter Jackson met and their friends. This is filmed over a period of 4 years. I'll do some trivia at the end of the show as well. 4 years at the weekends.
It's impressive.
Very impressive.
The film starts with an emergency call from some bloke in a village. I've got the village's name here. Carihoro, which is a New Zealand village. It's under attack by aliens. They're killing everybody. It's a full-scale invasion of Earth. I love that the little weird thing that the boss guy, the intelligence governor minister, had like Mom, the Queen, and then the boys on the handset on who to call. I thought that was ace. Karihoro is fast food in Maori.
Brilliant.
And Barry, one of the boys, is confronted by the alien version of Boris Johnson
You
Yeah.
look like Boris.
with an axe. And this scene, I think, goes on a bit too long because it seems to take forever to get to the fucking beach where Barry just shoots him in the head anyway.
I think some of the scenes do go on too long. They
Yeah.
could have cut 20 minutes. It would have been better.
I mean, I know you've got to make an hour and a half movie. Yeah, Barry's got a 45 Magnum revolver. He blows that alien's fucking head off, covering it in blood. Poor Boris.
Fuck Boris.
Boris.
It's not Boris though. He's just a Boris Johnson, just
Yeah.
an alien who's copying his style.
Well, fuck him then for being an idiot and copying his style.
Well, you know, Boris might be a fashion icon in space. Who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Like that Nazi becoming Pope.
Exactly. Derek is sat there in the car and he says, well, I love this line, why can't aliens be friendly? He's got one hanging by a fucking rope on a cliff though, by his foot. And he's captured and he's going to sadistically torture because Derek's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, hardly friendly, is it?
No. And all the aliens wear double denim. There's Barry and Ken's a few and there's a fight in a shed, which we don't see. I don't know who wins that fight.
I think they're all just wearing the same because, once they kill one off, they can just, quick come back and, be another one of them.
I'd probably go with the fact that everybody's got, or most people in 1987 New Zealand probably had blue denim shirt and jeans.
Oh yeah, just turn up in your blue denim shirt.
Actually, I think the most simple reason for it is so we as the viewers can recognise the aliens.
True.
Yeah, also,
Because they did look human.
also recognise that they're third class blue collar workers from where they come from.
Ooh.
And that is exactly
Yeah.
what they were as well. They were
Yeah.
third. They were the third class. And that's
God,
how
you've
they
got to
were.
throw fucking
Oh, yeah.
Marxism into everything, haven't you?
The fucking hierarchy. We'll smash it. Break
Yeah.
the wheel.
Well, they're working for a heartless intergalactic
Yeah.
corporation.
The McDonald's of their planet.
Oh yeah, the aliens are dumb and double denim. Never wear double denim. I don't care how fucking...
In a zombie apocalypse, I'm rocking double denim, I've
I'll
told you.
shoot you in the fucking head myself if you wear double denim. I'm not having any fashion crimes committed.
Who's going to care at that point?
Claire, there's
Just you.
Claire, civilization may have ended, but some standards have to be maintained.
Right. What, in Ben's world?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's my world at this point.
Obviously, if we ever get cameras, you'll see that Ben is the sharpest dressed, on point with fashion,
In his mustard hoodie.
Yeah,
and khaki tracksuit bottoms.
grey joggers.
Sorry, dirty grey joggers look almost khaki. I'm joking.
I watched these this week.
It's just the light from where I'm stood.
Yeah, but this isn't a fashion parade.
I'm only joking.
You're saying
Neither is the zombie
the
apocalypse.
zombie apocalypse. You've got to choose your apocalypse outfit
Yeah,
carefully.
double denim.
No.
It's thick, it's light enough.
I
And
don't
it's
care, Mike.
fashionable.
This is not fashionable. Double denim's not been fashionable since 1980s Dudley.
See, I'm just going for full fucking Kevlar body armour.
In the apocalypse.
If I can find some. That's what I'm looking for.
God, it's going to be a lot lighter than my chainmail.
I'm just going to be in a thong.
Yeah.
Mankini. Mankini.
I'm going to be in a mankini, fuck it. I don't want to survive in that hellscape. I'm just going to run to them and detonate a suicide vest while wearing a mankini.
He calls me in for fucking fashion photo.
At least I'm having the decency to kill myself.
That's true.
Very decent of you.
Thank you. Frank and Ozzy, we cut to there. They're the other members of the boys. Nice car, it's a Ford Manta. In Australia, you're either Ford or GM. Families and relationships have broke up over that.
But this is New Zealand. Hate to break it to you.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? It's probably the same in New Zealand. They're part of the organisation you find out is called the Astra Investigation and Defence Service, or AIDS, is the acronym. And after talking to Derek, he's like, yeah, I've got one I'm hanging by a rope, he's wearing blue denim, double denim. They're like, oh, you've got a fucking farmer, mate. You've got a farmer hanging for a rope by a cliff. Derek then decides he's going to go and get a hammer and bayonet from his car boot.
It's more of a thin machete, to be fair.
It's got lugs, it's got a lug, it's a bayonet.
But it's a very big bayonet, though. It's
World War One vintage, it's got the 18 inches.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's 1.5 foot long, easily.
I'd say it's World War One, it's about 18 inches long, it is a bayonet, it's got a lug. I thought it was a thin machete at
See, I
first.
didn't notice the look, but
Yeah,
it was certainly...
You Navy types never reckon nothing about bayonets.
So we still had exactly the same weaponry. Still had the SA-80 with the bayonet.
Yeah, well, Navy types.
That's all I can say on that.
Never have to use one.
Had to have big torpedoes and nukes.
Yeah, you did win a little bit on that, didn't you?
Yeah. I think in top trumps I won that one.
Yeah. Got a bayonet though. It's like Starship Troopers, isn't it? Why were you training with knives? Throws a knife in his hand. Because if you disable his hand, he can't push a button.
So this is his attempt to get the alien to talk, isn't it?
Get some info out of him.
He just screams though, doesn't it? And
It's a weird scream though. It's not just like it's like.
It's proper like alien scream, isn't it?
Yeah. Screechy.
And Derek's howling like a wolf. He's hammering that.
he's loving it.
Yeah.
He's laughing and everything.
Hammering it into the bottom of his fucking heel. Oof. This is where you see like the true gore of the
Well, it's
film.
the start of it, isn't it?
Yeah, because obviously you've already seen a head getting blown off. You've seen
Brains already.
You've seen hammers getting wedged into heads and all sorts like and getting shot with Uzis and
No, that's not yet. We haven't got to that point yet.
he killed.
Yes,
all
we
of them.
haven't had that
He
bit
killed
yet.
all of them before he started.
No.
No.
Sorry, jumping ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek's a fucking psycho. The aliens screams he's torturing draw them all to Derek because they were besieging Barry. I love the alien battering ram where they were just holding their mate and slamming his head into the door. That was fantastic.
And the aliens all pick up weapons, don't they? And then
They do.
There's one alien left who's looking around. He just finds this little toffee hammer.
Yeah.
That's right up the hill, isn't it?
No surprises that Derek has an Uzi in his magic bag that he's already pulled an 18. It's a blue rucksack that he's already managed to pull a First World War 18-inch bayonet out of,
And
a hammer. Now he's got an Uzi in at least 3
I
magazines.
told you he's Harry Potter. I told you this with his mates. Neville, Malfoy and the other guy. They've all teamed up.
Malfoy wasn't his mate.
No, but they put their differences aside.
Yeah,
Right.
but
You're missing out.
Quite
You're
some
missing out
time
the.
along, isn't
This
it?
is this is
20
just
years
after,
later.
This is just after the 19 years later at the end of the films.
Right.
It's like the next year.
I'm retconning that. I didn't exist. That doesn't count.
It is Mike's canon, is it? For some reason, at first, Derek can't shoot the ship.
He tells him to run, doesn't he? He says, "I'm a Derek. Derek's don't run."
That's true, yeah. Yeah, doesn't surprise me. Derek's a fucking psychos. He finally managed to shoot one to death, and he starts shooting the rest quite clinically, I thought,
Yeah.
using short, controlled bursts.
He got his eye in, didn't he? That was it, yeah. He used that first magazine as practice.
Not good when you only got 3, though.
No.
Got an Uzi, though. I mean, they aren't the most accurate things.
60
but
rounds.
close range, they're not too bad because they're 9mm rounds. So
Spray and pray.
you spray and pray.
That
Indeed.
is all an Uzi is. Spray and pray.
You're all right up to pistol range with it, but not fully automatic.
Even then, the accuracy's pretty shit.
Yeah, it's 9mm round in it, so it's good not talk. Yeah, he has a bit of a scrap with the alien who was hanging off. He was hanging off the cliff, doesn't he? He reappears.
Managed to get himself free.
He did. Fair play to him, I thought.
Fair play to the alien.
Oh, and the alien that was hanging off was also played by Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
The Robert, the alien.
And Derek falls off the cliff.
He goes rolling off, doesn't he?
He
There's
does.
blood splattering everywhere.
He's popped his rivets, as Barry
He
says.
popped his rivets.
And he gets eaten by seagulls.
He does get eaten by seagulls.
His mate
They're
says,
certainly pecking on him anyway.
his mate says birds were the only thing he could relate to.
Yeah. The problem is with the village that everyone, there's got aliens running around in it, is that a vicar's arrived to do a local collection for the church. Haven't they got enough money?
Played by Ron Weasley.
Just because he's got a blue Morris Minor. That's a Ford Anglia, isn't it? It's a blue
I
car.
had to fit him somewhere in the film.
Ozzy and Frank close the road off with a fucking call sign saying nuclear contamination. He's like, no one's going to come in here after that. He's like, isn't the nearest nuclear plant, where is it?
Also, in America.
Yeah.
In America. He's like, yeah, people don't realise that.
I think it's a warship that's gone off and exploded.
Further proof that Morris Minor is shit because when the vicar is accosted by an alien, he runs back to the car. Can't get it to start. That's some good old-fashioned British reliability right there from the 1970s. The door didn't fall off, fortunately. It was fairly sturdy, and he did manage to get away from Robert.
0 to 30 in about 12 seconds.
Yeah.
0 to 25. And he finds a very nice house, as Claire commented. I'm in full agreement. It's a lovely house, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely house.
Lovely house. And he's knocked out by the alien chef, who's quite an imposing figure.
Now, is that Peter Jackson as well?
I thought that name a bit too chunky, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Looks a bit like him, though.
he does a little bit. And the vicar is knocked out. He wakes up gagged, and I'm assuming naked, in a barrel with an apple in his mouth. And he's in soup. He's been marinated by 11 secret herbs and spices. And you get the first time the main baddie, Lord Crumb. It kind of reveals human flesh is it. He's going to be sold at the intergalactic meat market. Basically McDonald's.
Yeah, 5 billion on this planet, he's saying, isn't there?
He said 4, but has the population of Earth shot up that much?
4.
I think it has, you know.
You know, he went from 4 billion in 1987 to 7 billion in 2022.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, we need a nuclear war to solve this problem. I mean, no, let's not do that. Vladimir. Yeah, I don't think that Lord Crumb should have told him they're going to kill him, because that would ruin the meat. If the animal sees a knife, he gets a rush of adrenaline and it spoils the meat.
They don't know that yet.
I don't think an animal can acquit a knife if you only cut its throat.
It's the rush of fear. When you start doing it.
Oh, when you start doing it,
Yeah.
yeah, but you can't just show them a knife and then they're scared.
Should you see this?
I don't know what it is, do they?
When you start cutting them, if they see you doing it, it's not good. And you shouldn't have told him, because he's now got a rush of adrenaline and hormones to his body.
Probably shit himself as well.
He's putting shit into these secret sauce.
I would, wouldn't you?
Oh, fucking too right.
Just to confirm, Peter Jackson did also play Derek,
He did.
which was the crazy one.
Harry
with
Potter
the
looked
Uzi.
like.
Yeah.
With the glasses and the scarf.
So obviously he'd shaved for those scenes,
Wow.
and then had the beard for the scenes as Robert, and he also played Minister, which I'm assuming would have been
The vicar.
maybe the
He was in the
chef.
Oh, the minister at the start, isn't it? One who presses the button, call the boys.
Okay, right, got you.
Yeah.
So he actually played 3 characters in that film.
Wow, fair play.
But yeah, so Derek is
God, he's like
him with a clean shaven face.
He's like a New Zealand Peter Sellers.
But how different somebody looks with slightly different hair and a
Yeah.
bit of a scraggly beard.
Very different, yeah.
Well, it's good news for Derek, because he's alive.
Derek did wear glasses. That was the disguise.
It's very true. Just a pair of glasses changes the shape of your face.
Yeah. Well, look at Superman.
There you
You
go.
know, nobody fucking knew.
Now, no one knows that Clark Kent was ripped as shit all the fucking time. No.
Yeah,
No,
but a seagull, didn't
Yeah, but the seagull, he's alive, but the back of his head's hanging off. That's quite a good effect, actually. I thought that looked decent. It's a decent practical effect.
Yeah.
Finds a bit of his brain on the floor, he just shoves it back in. He seems to be fine as long as it stays in place. If not, he seems to black out for a bit.
And shake.
I used to think he just shoves it back in.
Yeah. The sound effects in this movie are a bit OTT.
Yeah.
The sound effects are brilliant. The sound effects are brilliant because they make you cringe. They're like, oh, that sounds gross.
I think it was just too over the top.
That's
You know,
the
I don't-
point. That's the whole point of it.
No, I wasn't cringing because it just wasn't realistic for me.
Yeah. It was a spoof. It was meant to be
They know it's
cringy,
shit,
wasn't it?
don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank, Ozzy and Barry start wrecking the alien house. It is a nice house. I'm going to mention that again. It's a lovely house. Nice to... Been watching a lot of Homes Under the Hammer this week.
How's your flyer engine coming along then? What's his Benjamin in?
They're not watching Homes Under the Hammer. David does make it back to his car, and he uses a top hat to keep his head together.
Yeah.
So I like that. It's classy. We switch back to Frank, Ozzy and Barry, who start tooling up, getting the balaclavas on and what aren't very good bulletproof vests. They're just padded jackets. They're only authorised to use violence when the Earth and Moon are under attack.
Fair enough.
Seems alright. They send the code name for invasion, which is the bastards have landed. At this point we find out that the aliens are all in human suits.
Yep.
Lord Crumb puts his human suit on, doesn't he? You don't
Yeah.
see him as an alien yet, but it's hinted at that he's putting his human
Well,
suit on.
you see
An outline.
you see a shadow of him, don't you?
Yeah.
And he's all disfigured, and then he kind of puts this. You see him putting something on, essentially. Yeah, morphs back into human form.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives a speech, doesn't he? He says 6 of our co-workers have died, killed by real arseholes.
They do.
And they packed all the dead townsfolk in cardboard boxes.
It's only 6 boxes. That's a beautiful thing about humans, apparently, is they fit into small boxes.
Well, once they remove all of the fat and the bones,
I guess so.
that's what he said.
And there's blood and brains all over the floor. The boys really slip in it as they made their infiltration into the house, all kitted up. Crumbs is giving this speech, and he's like, Crumbs, crunchy delights, it's fast food.
Yeah.
Crunchy delight.
Well, Barry's that disgusted by all the blood on the floor, he picks up a mop close by and starts mopping it up.
An alien at that point enters, and Ozzy manages to rip its head off. They come off, they're not very strong, they come apart easily.
And he looks like Jaws from Moonraker.
The alien, yes,
Yeah.
he does, yes.
And then Barry's really pissed off and says, "I just cleaned that spot," and then carries on mopping the new blood.
And he kicks the head out the window, doesn't he?
The old
Still got
magic's-
the old magic.
The old magic's still there. Which is what I say every time I play football. The old magic's still there.
The old magic's still there.
Frank puts a shirt on, trying to blend in over the top of the body armour, making him look incredibly fat. And he has to drink some vomit. 1 alien, 1 cup. That's what
Yeah, he's given this bowl, isn't he?
Yeah.
Of gruel, he's called
And
it.
they're all kind of gathered around the stairwell, and he walks into there not knowing what he's got this bowl for, and then they all kind of shunt him over, and they bring Robert down the stairs, holding him like a battering ram.
Yeah.
And then he just starts vomiting into this bowl, and it's all steaming, and this bright greeny blue, quite gross looking vomit.
Croutons as well.
Yeah, and then he shunt him with this bowl full of
They give
vomit
the boss guy
to give
first,
to the
don't
boss,
they?
and then he goes, the gruel.
I got a chunky bit, lucky me.
Yeah.
and he starts drinking it, and then he's like slapping his lips, going, I had a chunky bit, lucky me. And
Of
then
course, you had a
passes it
chunky
round.
bit, the heartless capitalist bastard. Taking the chunky bits from the workers' mouths,
He
eh,
has to have it
Mike?
first, doesn't he?
You have to have it first,
So he
yeah.
has the first swig and then passes it round, and then obviously it gets to who was it?
Frank.
It gets to Frank, and he's kind of like, oh my god, I've got to do it. They're all watching me. So he reluctantly takes a little swig, and then realises, it's quite nice, and goes in for another swig.
He doesn't take it off him. And Crumb's going on about food at this point, what he's going to turn us into, and he mentions a few things. The one that really stood out for me, the one I had to write down, apart from the burgers and the lentils, was, I'm going to call this chewy homo nuggets.
That's right, yeah.
Meanwhile, the vicar is still marinating in the secret herbs and spices, and the boys find him, they free him, and they start making their exfiltration of the house.
Yep.
There's alien guards on patrol, and they have to kill one of them, and it all goes a bit fucking loud, and it's a shootout at that point. I don't think the gun effects are too bad.
No,
They're all
quite good,
rolling
really.
across the garden, aren't they?
Yeah, it's it's very 80s,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, and all
Half
the
people die.
each of the gunshots, the hits, they're full of blood splurts and that.
Yeah.
He clearly went all out on gore in this.
You can't knock. I mean, obviously, this is a. Was Brain dead after this?
Yes.
Yes, Brain
Yes,
was
we
the second.
So obviously, this was his testing ground, wasn't it?
Yes.
For some of the stuff. The guns themselves weren't real guns, they were just mocked up models, a bit of tube steel or a magazine rolled
Probably
up. And
BB
Full
guns.
me.
no, they're not even that, they weren't even
they?
firing guns. They just shook them when they fired them to make it look as if it was recoiling. And in some scenes it's quite obvious, but the muzzle flash is added after.
Yeah.
I didn't notice, fooled me.
The RPG wasn't real.
No, because they don't tend to just go and float around like a balloon before they hit. They tend to go in a very straight line very quickly.
That fooled me as well.
See, that's the point of an RPG. You don't want to aim at a tank with an RPG and have it float around for a bit. They're not guided, they go where you aim, that's it.
Well, as a layman, I didn't notice.
You've just seen Rambo, it doesn't... Rambo 3.
Because Rambo's obviously the...
More realistic out of the two in this
Well,
scenario.
yes.
It's not
Yes,
an RPG
but
in
it's
Rambo,
certainly
is
not-
it?
Certainly not
First one,
the
isn't it?
line
Third
of
one.
realistic.
I just assumed the camera was shaking a bit.
Uh,
I love it the bit where there's a sniper in the trees
Yes, that's fun.
and he shoots him, and then about 5 or 6
four,
people
they all start falling out.
And I think the shootout's pretty decent, actually.
That's
It's very
good.
80s.
That's a good 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
lots of gunfire.
Yeah, I'm always down for that.
It's reminiscent of that Arnold Schwarzenegger's Commando.
Commando.
Isn't it?
Yes.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking
yes.
when I was watching
You're
it.
right in that, yeah. Derek, we talked about to him, he wakes up again and he gets shit on by a gull. But he's on the way now. Gets back in the car, starts driving, doesn't. For some reason, he's got the Beatles in his car.
Where's his hat gone? Because isn't he using a belt now to belt his head up?
Yeah.
No, not yet. So when he arrives at the house, he then gets his hat shot off
Ah, that's it.
and uses his belt to wrap his skull back together.
Then he looks like Rambo a bit.
But he's got this crazy 2-story car kind of thing, hasn't he?
Yeah, with the Beatles in the bottom.
The Beatles, he got the 4 Beatles.
The Sergeant Pepper.
Yeah. All
Is that
sat at
like
the
a-
front
is
of
that
the car.
A cutout or something? Oh.
Yeah,
think
the
it
little
is,
cardboard
yeah.
cutouts of them, but yeah, very very weird. It's like a decoy car, I guess, isn't it? Make people think there's more people in there than there is.
Yeah. And there's a bit of a fight with the chef and Ozzy ends up throwing off a balcony and breaks his neck. I think the real victim with Derek is the top hat. I think the top hat looks suave as fuck. Did Derek just manage to run over an alien? That's pretty cool. And then he, for some reason, keeps a chainsaw in his boot, in his trunk. If
He
you're
uses a
American.
Casio calculator as a
Yeah.
keypad.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
calculator, brilliant.
Amazing.
He's got like a fucking full-on murder kit in his car. I mean, the weapons in the Ford Manta, I can understand. They're a government agency. Derek's in a fucking custom car with the Beatles in the front. The lunatic's got a bag full of weapons.
You can't knock him for being
But prepared.
prepared, yeah.
It's his age, Ben.
Yeah, it is
They're
the
not
word.
amateurs. They're the boys, damn it.
That's it. Who'd you call? The boys. At this point, Lord Crumb's joining the fray, but for some reason has forgotten to load his magazine. Do you know why you would not even check? When he cocked the weapon, surely he'd have stood around going to the chamber, but no, not in this.
He's a silly alien.
He is a silly alien.
And he's used to lasers that just automatic, obviously.
He's used to skivvies doing the shooting for
That's
him.
true. He has a bit of a shootout with Barry. As is the aliens then reveal the alien form, they lose it, don't they? Gratuitous alien ass. Was it necessary?
Yes.
So, yeah, their ass sort of rips out their trousers and their shoulders.
Yeah.
And then some of them have got a bit of a gut on them, some of
Their
them haven't.
ass doesn't rip out of their shoulders.
No, their ass rips out of their... Yeah. Their trousers, I said. They've got a bit of a gut on them, some of them, and they've got these sort of huge, elongated head type.
Yeah, the heads are curved
You can
back
still see their human eyes, though.
because they wouldn't fit in the fridge when they made the rubber casts, so to cool them down.
Well, they certainly made an effort on like animatronics, though. For what it was, the mouths did move a little bit, and they had like bits on the side of their cheeks that would move as well. So they'd done something
Maybe it's a
mechanical.
rubber mask.
Now,
remembering
remembering-
they are.
Remembering that the whole budget for this film was like 20 grand.
20
20,000 UK, about 35,000 in total.
New
I
Zealand
believe.
dollars.
New Zealand dollars. But
I thought
he
the
he
lips
did a
were
lot with the
shoddy.
money.
I thought the lips were shoddy, they look like Elvis.
You think? Yeah, you think at the time you could compare. You remember the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film? Can you remember that?
Yeah.
That would have been not far off around.
No,
that
it was like
kind of time.
1991,
So only a few years difference.
1990. I know them suits are pretty sophisticated,
But
weren't
when
they?
you look at the way their lips moved in the first one,
Yeah.
there wasn't much to it. There was no real. You wouldn't be able to lip read them. It was
Well,
just a
that's the
bit
turtles.
of movement up and down.
They got no lips.
But when you compare it, and their budget would have been in the millions.
Oh god, yeah, them suits are quite sophisticated
Yeah.
at the time. Back to the movie though. Ozzy gets the mystery box from the boot of the car. I love the mystery box. Turns out the mystery box has got a fucking RPG in it.
Yeah.
Which he then just needs to lure some aliens into the car and then blow it up, which is a shame because it was a really nice car.
And then one of the boys sees it, and then he goes, "That's my car."
He runs back to the house. He's like, "Well, fuck this! I'm gonna end it. We can't let these fuckers leave, can we?
No.
They'll come back." He blows up the nice house.
Yeah.
Takes out like the top quarter of
Yeah,
it, basically.
even though he should have just blatted the front out of it completely, the lower story, and killed them.
Yeah.
Then again, if I want to be pedantic, he doesn't look like he's about 30 metres away, and that's how long it takes the warhead to arm. You can't fire on point blank, they don't work.
Do you want Call of Duty?
They do on, no, because at close range with an RPG you get an impact kill,
Yeah,
which
you
is...
do, yeah. They work though, sort of. They blow up.
But your second shot misses the house, doesn't it? It goes straight through.
Yeah, that's Frank
blows up the
shooting.
sheep.
That's right, yeah, Frank shoots one and blows up the sheep.
Yeah, I'll say that's not yet though. That's
I jumped ahead.
You have jumped ahead slightly. They go in for the leader, and Derek arrives with the chainsaw. Kevin cuts an alien to pieces with the chainsaw because, again, he's a fucking psychopath. Then shoves some alien brains in his head.
Yeah.
yeah, because his fell out and he stepped
That'll
on
work.
it.
Yeah. Because that'll work. It's the alien chainsaw massacre, basically. He's just going for it.
He's gone ape shit.
He's got ape shit.
Get out of here.
Ozzy is wounded by a shot to the leg. That's where Frank fires the launcher but kills the sheep. It was the last RPG round.
The reason he kills the sheep, I have to add in, is because Derek, with his chainsaw and his gone absolutely nutsness, he walks up to a door, doesn't open the door, goes slightly to the right of it and cuts through the wall. And he does this through each of the doors, and at the point where he cuts through a wall in the shape of him, and then walks through it like a Ghostbuster or some like major hero would walk through, like with their steaming bloody laser gun thing or whatever, and then obviously they shoot the rocket,
Yeah.
and he steps out of the way and it goes through the hole that he's just created.
Yeah. And he then confronts Crumb and he gets knocked out.
Gets kicked in the nuts.
Yeah. Oh, and the ship takes off, because the house is the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, the boss goes upstairs, doesn't he? Or
That's right, he goes
downstairs.
upstairs.
It's not technological, though, is it? It's all hand cranks and levers.
Well, it could be the emergency system because obviously they shot away half the house.
Possible.
They could have taken out some kind of control. I don't know. It's hand cranked. Let's just assume that this is a very low budget movie.
I just adds to it, I think.
Now this is the final bit now. Trees are falling as the spaceship powers up, and I think they're going to do a good job with the model on this.
I think it looks
Very
great.
good.
Special
Yeah.
effects for the budget is amazing.
Yeah, I think this particular bit was really well done, considering it's probably quite a difficult shot. You got to get that house looking right.
I know how the first shot of it, they pulled the camera down so it looked like the trees,
Yeah.
or up, whatever it was, to
Yeah, I
make
get
the
you.
trees look like they were moving.
That's
but
right.
Well, make the house look like it was moving, but it wasn't. It was the trees coming out of the shot. But that was clever. But then the second shot, it was actually
Some kind of model.
Be a
yes,
model.
yeah. But that was well done.
Yeah.
It didn't look different. It looked like the same house. Like it was, they'd done it perfectly.
Absolutely.
And then the alien boss picks up a telephone, doesn't he? Just a normal telephone
Yeah.
to call home.
I lost all my minions.
Lost all the scummy third-class labourers.
Don't worry, I'm on my way home now.
Capitalist bastard.
This pig.
But what he doesn't know is that the retribution is on board in the form of Derek, who cuts a hole through the floor, falls on top of him, and literally, after screaming, "Suck my spinning steel, shithead!" basically cuts him all the way to his fucking
Remembering
arsehole.
this is Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
So it's quite, as what you know of him now, Lord of the Rings, he was actually crackers as an actor.
Absolutely. He crawls through him and then screams, "I'm born again," as he emerges from Crumb's arsehole. He's cut his way through. He then picks up the phone and says, "I'm coming to get you, you bastards," and puts someone's skin on. It's not, I don't think it's Crumb's. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
was.
it is.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But he's then wearing the skin, and that's the end of the movie. Derek's going to go and declare war on an entire alien race.
Well,
Disastrous.
I think they declared war when they landed and tried to eat us.
Yeah.
I'd say that's a declaration of war myself.
Well, yes, I fully agree with you, and they should be shown no mercy, Mike.
Do you know what? I'll be surprised if almost every single listener doesn't try and find this movie now and watch it with the synopsis we've just given it. Who wouldn't want to watch that?
Claire.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't want to watch it again.
It
No,
is.
you wouldn't want to watch it again, but you've just watched it, so...
No, it is a 6.5 on IMDb, and I think that given the budget and the very rough nature of the film, I think that's completely reasonable.
The way it was made in the 4 years, the continuity...
4 years.
The continuity...
It's a dedication of
Yeah.
labour of
It's a
love,
labour of
isn't it?
love, yeah.
And you can see it, it comes out in the film.
weekends,
Just
yeah.
mates having a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have a stupid film where aliens come and try and eat humans. And
So over 4 years on weekends they shot it. He funded most of it himself.
I'd give it a 7 just for the budget.
Yeah. Made the costumes, I believe, the alien costumes and
Mhm.
things like that. Probably made most of the props himself.
All the masks were
and-
made in his mother's kitchen.
There you go.
Some of the scenes went on too long, but
Yeah, but that's just it's his first movie. It's-
yeah, it makes
stretching
sense.
it
It's
out.
coherent. It's funny. It's
He's stretched
Clever
it
in
out
places,
to make it a full movie,
liked it.
wasn't he?
It was clever in places, and clever for the time as well, because
Yeah.
it was always like, bringing the royal family and stuff and taking the piss, wasn't it?
Here you go. The firearms in the film are all non-functional replicas made by Peter Jackson. For example, what appears to be a World War II Sterling submachine gun is actually a length of aluminium pipe, a handle made from Fimo. I don't know what Fimo is.
Fimo is
Fimo.
clay that you can bake, and it goes hard,
Right.
and you can paint it.
And a piece of wood to stand in for the ammunition magazine. The actors shook the props to simulate recoil, and the muzzle flashes were added post-production.
looks good to me. Full mate.
All the dialogue in the film was dubbed in post-production. This
Yeah,
is for
you
two
can tell
reasons. Part of the footage had no sound with it, since it had been filmed on Peter Jackson's own 16mm camera, which didn't support film recording. And B, once the New Zealand's Film Commission funded the remainder of the film, Jackson had a sound camera, though neither Jackson nor his crew were very skilled with sound recording, and most of the dialogue was unusable. And the famous chainsaw from Derek didn't actually work. Close-up shots of the chainsaw cutting through things were shot using a much smaller but functional chainsaw.
Fair dues. Again, but you wouldn't notice on the first movie that was anything to...
I've
like
seen-
fair dinghams.
I've seen Hollywood blockbusters with shit at special effects.
worse
and that.
continuity
Yeah.
things, yeah. Like I said, I think that's what impresses me, knowing that it took 4 years,
Literally
odd weekends, every other
yeah,
weekend,
yeah.
to get the continuity, because there's not a scene where you think, oh, his beard was 2 inches longer a minute ago, or anything like that. Like, fair play, little things like that were brilliant.
Yep.
The vomiting scene. The shot of Robert vomiting into the bowl is not Peter Jackson, but a hand puppet of Robert. Peter cast his face in plaster and it was made into a hand puppet. There was a funnel at the back of the puppet's head where the vomit was poured into.
Yeah,
I did
could
think it
tell
looked
that.
a bit plasticky when it did the close up on his face.
Yeah. Well, I doubted it for a second. So
The sheet. I thought it was still well done. To be
Oh,
fair,
yeah.
I love the practical
Still
effects.
looked
If nothing
like
else,
him.
I do love some practical effects. Peter O'Hearn, who Barry hadn't shaved before his first scene, so obviously Jackson told him to keep that look for continuality, as we said. So for 4 years, O'Hearn couldn't shave for more than once a week, and this habit was hard to break after the shooting was completed.
I bet
Yeah,
he'd just go to doing it once a week, wouldn't he? Just-
Unlike me, once in a blue moon.
It's coming up.
The Van
Yeah.
Derrick drives the 1961 Thames 5 CWT wheelchair converted van. It
Right.
belonged to Peter Jackson in real life.
So that was the weird 2-story. Looks a bit like a Pope-mobile.
Yes.
It looked like it didn't have a seat. That would make sense, wouldn't it? 'Cause
So
it's
they'd
a
have just gone in
wheelchair.
with a wheelchair, and that's why it had that long extended.
How he drove it with no nothing to sit on then?
Well, because you've got your wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah,
No,
how would he do it?
how
Oh,
would he
he's
do
obviously
it?
put a seat in or something.
Yeah.
I'd have thought.
There wasn't any seat.
I didn't notice, but I suppose you could stand up, couldn't you?
And use 2 pedals.
Automatic.
I mean, if they're disabled, they can't use the pedals.
Well, they might have levers.
Yeah, they'll have
maybe.
levers. Yeah.
That's a good point. Good thinking there, Michael.
Mm. I've seen dogs
Michael, my
drive.
son.
I've seen dogs drive cars.
Have you?
Okay.
Where was that then, Mike?
I know Mallinsley's a bit rough, but the dogs were nicking cars there as
I
well.
think it was in New Zealand actually.
No.
That sounds about right.
They train dogs to drive cars for disabled people.
No,
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Honestly, I shit
No,
you
I'm
not.
sorry, nah, that can't be
I see
right.
a dog checking the wick.
Have you not seen all these like spoof adverts they do in Australia and New Zealand and that? Do you not think that might be one of those silly adverts that they
Honestly,
do?
I swear to God, look it up. Dogs driving
Well,
cars.
as always, listener, you do the research. We'll have a couple more. The movie was banned in the Australian state of Queensland until the early 90s when their censorship board was disbanded.
Fucking pussies.
And there's a line, there's no glowing fingers on these bastards.
Yeah.
Is
Obviously a tribute to E.T.
obviously a reference to E.T.,
Yeah.
directed by Spielberg. 8 years later, Jackson would work with Dee Wallace, who plays Mary in The Frighteners, and later collaborate with Spielberg in The Adventures of Tintin. So it's all about 8 degrees of separation. He went from this to working with Spielberg.
Good on him.
Well, it was
Yeah.
imaginative, isn't it? You know, I'll give it that.
Actually, there's more of a Doctor Who reference, to be fair. I mean, obviously you've woven your Harry Potter canon
with
into this movie now.
with his outfit and that.
Yeah, the first
Stripey,
the
yeah,
character
long
Derek
scarf.
has a long scarf, similar to that of the Fourth Doctor, and a line of dialogue mentions the aliens arriving in a telephone box.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. Okay, so that was a hat tip.
Yes, a little bit of a hat tip.
Yeah.
This is 1987. Doctor Who's quite popular.
Yeah, it had been for 20 years already.
Looks just like the Gryffindor scarf as well, though, doesn't it?
Yes,
But to be fair, it hadn't even been written
I
at
know,
that point. Like you say, could she have been a fan of this film and based it upon a prequel?
Obviously, I'm
It's a prequel.
I'm joking. It's obviously not a
Yeah.
sequel, though, but
oh no, this is canon now. It's too late.
it was funny. He's got the same
It
glasses.
does look a
and
bit
scarf.
like Harry Potter.
I'm sorry, it's podcast canon now that Bad Taste is a Harry Potter prequel.
And the flying
sequel.
car, the blue flying car, it looks a little bit similar. You know?
It's the same colour blue.
Close enough for me.
Yeah. It's got 4 wheels and a steering wheel.
My final thoughts. I quite enjoyed it. I personally would give it a solid 7. I think it dragged a little bit in places.
Yeah.
Some of the scenes are too long.
Probably is a 6.5, but I'll bump it up to a 7 just for the fact that they made it on such a low budget.
Yeah, on a completely nothing budget. I think the practical effects are decent.
It's funny in places.
It's funny in places. I think
It's laugh out loud
Yeah.
in places as well. Not just, it actually makes you laugh. Like proper belly laugh a bit.
and
But I think it is very much a boys' film, isn't it? Because Claire didn't
I really,
like
no,
it.
I like blood and guts and all that, like, but I've got to be like, you know, really drawn into it. It's got to be, it's like capturing, and that didn't capture me. But I should imagine for the time, if I went to cinema or something to watch that, you know, that'd have been amazing.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Wouldn't
have been too bad, would it? Would have fit in with a lot of 80s sort of dodgy.
Yeah. For the
Sci-fis.
time, right? Yeah.
I'll give it a 7.
Yeah.
I think I'd give it a. I think all accounted for, I would say 7.5.
Oh.
No, you really like it.
No, I do. I watched it very young when it was made in 1987. I'd have been 5 at that point. I think I probably watched it when I was about 7 or 8. It must have been because I think I watched it before I moved to Saudi. It's about 1990 maybe. I watched that film.
I'm not rating it.
I had 3-year-old
I won't be
brothers.
watching it again.
You gave it a 2 earlier. You're sticking by that.
Somebody, yeah, along, right, you know.
2 out of 10 from Claire.
Well, you're fired. Boo.
No, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
No. Yeah, but like you say, Mike, it's a boys' film, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Oh God.
Well, there are no
Please tell
female
me.
cast in it.
I'd rather go and watch Clash
There's
of the
one
Titans.
female.
And I'm not.
Is it?
And that's
not
the
sexist.
co-operator at the start of the
Oh,
movie.
yeah. Yeah, it was
I'm
it.
not being sexist by saying that either. It is just. I think it's just guys' toilet humour kind
Yeah.
of. It's
When
that.
did Clash of the Titans come out? Because I thought that was sick.
That's nothing to do with it.
No, it's nothing to do with this, but that was like
The original.
like Clay, yeah,
Oh.
Claymation
1981.
and that, like, you know, that
earlier
got
than
me
that,
gripped.
No, 81.
was it?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's you know.
That film's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Better than the remake. Jesus.
Oh, the remake was fucking terrible. They made turn purges
Which
into a
one?
wine
I didn't
little
like
bitch.
the blood.
Percy Jackson or
The only thing better
No,
in the
no, no.
sequel, in the remake to the original, is the Scorpions.
Yeah,
A lot better than the original.
they spent all their budget on that. Medusa looks shit.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, that
Medusa looks
paint.
better in the 81.
She does,
version,
yeah. She looks awful in the new one.
But the Scorpions is the only thing I'll give
Oh,
it.
and they turned Perseus into a whiny bitch.
So this film is 2 years after that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, 6 years.
6 years after that. Exactly. So.
And done on a smaller budget.
Yeah.
much smaller.
Plus the
budget.
titles in millions.
Shut up, really?
Yeah.
I don't know about. What was
It's
to
a couple of
say?
million.
Second, I'll
At least
tell
A couple of
you.
million, yeah. Not talking massive.
Never.
At least $1 million it's got to be.
The average is about sort of 2 to 3 million back then for a.
Clash of the Titans, 1981. Budget 9 million or 15 million.
There you go.
Wow.
It's a
Between
15
9
million.
and 15.
No, it's 15 million in today's
When
money.
he talks.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
So at the time,
9 million back then, or
9
15 million back, or 50 million now.
Right.
So
So
quite a
9
chunky
million
film.
compared to 20,000.
20,000.
Yeah. Bit of a jump.
I mean,
Right.
okay,
Probably,
actually
actually-
is a good film.
Probably less US dollars, because New Zealand dollars mean nothing compared to the actual dollar,
Yeah. That's why I was.
or the pound for that matter.
That's why
Oh, I
I
thought
said it's
somebody
about.
worked it out.
It was about 35 New Zealand dollars, 35,000 New Zealand dollars, and
That's about 20 grand.
that's why I said about 20 grand in English. But it was about 2 to the pound, so it might have even been a bit less than that. Could be like closer to 17 grand.
Either way, I think great job with the budget.
Yeah, super job.
Yeah,
And
a
it's
fun
what
film.
made him. It made him.
Yeah.
He'd have never done Lord of the Rings if it hadn't been for this film. End of.
That's what you forget. I mean, he did this, he did Brain Dead. He didn't do a great deal in between Lord of the Rings. Not big, anyway.
Frighteners.
Frighteners he
Yeah.
was on. I mean, that was a good movie. How'd you go from this to Frighteners, which I love? I love that movie.
Brilliant
good,
film.
isn't it?
Brilliant film.
To here, Pete, you're from New Zealand. We're filming it here. Lord of the Rings, crack on. What the fuck? How'd you land that job? There's probably stuff I don't know. In all fairness,
he did.
about that. It just seemed like because I'd never heard
I
of the
think it
guy.
was him that went to the studios with the idea, wasn't it?
Possibly he could have been the one that adapted it. Yeah.
I've got
It
this
was.
great back garden, mate.
Yeah.
Bloody huge.
But the fact that they funded it on the back of these films.
Fair play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because what did he bring in from this? Have you ever seen what he got from this film?
No.
Because obviously he had a £20,000 budget-ish, give or take.
It was it's a cult
What did he
movie,
make
so
from it?
would he be lucky to make his money back on VHS sales? Alright, let's move on with that while Pete looks that up. This is from the Inquisitor in Valentine's Day 2017.
See, I
What's this from? Oh, that's cute. Bizarre report claims aliens eating people at secret UFO base in Arizona. I love it. This is by a guy called Norman Bird. Is that his hair?
He looks like a cheap Brian May.
He does look like a cheap Brian May ripoff. Observing aliens is nothing new, nor the sightings of secret bases for UFOs, and still an official document, the United States Department of Agriculture, has revealed a report that was filed where a man claimed to observe aliens and humans working together at what looked like a base still under construction, and he also claimed to see aliens eating people. The Daily Express, is that the British paper, do you
Yeah.
think?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Reported this week that the US Department of Agriculture released several files detailing allegations of UFO and alien activity near a national park in Arizona.
I'm pretty sure the Americans have a Daily Express. So it could well be American, couldn't it?
I don't know.
Could be either one. Either way, the Daily Express in the UK is fucking trash.
Yeah.
Originally fielded by the US Forest Service, the files were obtained by John Greenwald, founder of the Black Vault website, who do us some favours on our research. I must admit to visiting that now and again. Who specialises in disclosing former classified documents and materials concerning aliens and UFOs. One report stood out in it that it contained information regarding aliens interacting with humans, aliens eating humans, and the construction of a secret UFO base, and the observer claiming to have photographic proof of his allegations and a severed human head. Just because why not?
Yeah, I got a severed human head here. Where'd you get it from?
The aliens.
The original report was taken at the service's Southwestern Region office in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and provided details in an email from an observer in Arizona. That's weird.
I love that name, Albuquerque.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go there.
In the email, the alleged witness claimed to have personally observed the construction of an alien base in the Tonto National Forest, which is near Phoenix, Arizona, and the email contained the following. David received a call this morning at the front desk from a male caller reporting the construction of a secret government installation upstream from the Salt River Canyon past Penal Creek, upstream from Roosevelt Lake. Aliens and at least one detached head are involved.
That sounds like an alien is working with a detached head on constructing a secret government installation.
He goes and says,
Must be the wrench head.
Head, you don't do nothing! You do nothing, Head! Or, to wrestling reference, he's Al Snow, who, for a finishing move, used to hit them with a doll's head called Head. Like a big mannequin head. He would do his head, and he would get the crowd to chant, Head, 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 before he hit them in the face of this mannequin.
Is that like a bad version of Timmy Mallet?
Now, Al Snow's ace. Better than Timmy Mallet. Although I can't speak for Al Snow's pop career, I don't know what that's like. Timmy Mallet, obviously, UK number one.
Oh yeah. Itsy bitsy teeny.
Let's not get into it. The witness found a severed head and claims to have pictures of some of this stuff. The witness, whose name was noted, said he had already reported on unusual activity. Unusual? Someone's on the red cuff!
Floating head building a base.
He said he'd already called the office at the lake. The email continued, but he didn't know if those people were turning the other cheek or maybe those people had been paid off. The email then goes to note the service was anticipating, quote, the Phoenix media will be all over this, and then ended with an insistent postscript, P.S. David and I aren't doing drugs either.
We aren't doing drugs.
We weren't tripping, honestly.
I think it's fair to say that when someone ends an email saying, P.S. I wasn't on drugs, I think we can all safely assume that they were on drugs.
Yeah, you started there with a severed head. I didn't do any drugs. It wasn't me. It was the aliens.
Unfortunately, there appears to be no follow-up investigation, cover-up, clearly, to the strange observations. The Phoenix Press does not appear to have gotten wind of the secret goings-on at the national park, but the Express noted that the 2013 sightings of aliens and UFOs wasn't the first allegation of a secret military or alien base at Tonto National Forest. Conspiracy theorists about the government and aliens collaborating at secret facilities in the American Southwest have been making the rounds for years, and they have Area 51, Dulce Base. It's all there.
Yeah.
Check out our episodes on those. As for the allegations of aliens eating people, there is no evidence to suggest that such things have occurred. No evidence has been found.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because they've eaten it.
Yeah.
Eat the bones as well.
Maybe. Make them into a nice broth.
I thought exactly the same thing then. I was about to say, you beat me to it. Great minds.
Exactly. And great broth. Well, maybe not with human bones, I don't know.
Mr. Burns, they think you're some kind of ogre. They sure don't want to eat their bones.
Because I'll grind their bones to make my bread. Don't trust me on Simpsons quotes. Don't test me on them. Yet, conspiracy theories abound wherein aliens devour humans, sometimes in collaboration with government and or military officials, where the officials willingly supply aliens with humans for food in exchange for not exterminating humanity or gaining alien technology information, or both.
Sounds a bit like giving up the Virgin to the fucking...
Kraken?
The Kraken or the Dragon or whatever, yep.
So what do we think?
Sounds like bollocks to me.
Well, when someone ends an email with, I wasn't on drugs, it usually means that they're on drugs.
I've not been smoking me crack pipe today, honest.
Yeah, so they say, yeah, I saw this UFO. I just left the pub. It was about 12:30. I wasn't drunk though. It's like, yeah, you clearly were.
Well, according to some scientists, they don't think aliens would ever eat humans.
Right, well, we can't base this on Mars attacks. Although I do love that movie. For his new book, Aliens, the world's leading scientists on the search for extraterrestrial life, quantum physicist Jim Al-Khalili.
He's really good, actually. There's a lot of stuff on the BBC as well.
Okay. Jim Al-Khalili asked a series of experts to explore how humans might actually make contact with aliens. And the possibility is not as far-fetched as it wouldn't seem, because they've been here for years, people!
Dressed as humans.
Since Eisenhower met them, they've been here!
Didn't we call bullshit on that?
No, I didn't. I don't recall calling bullshit on that.
No, I think we came to the conclusion it was highly possible and likely.
There was just no evidence, apart from our massive technological leaps.
No hard evidence, anyway.
No. Hard. Since NASA launched its Kepler mission in 2009, researchers discovered thousands of new planets and revolutionised our concept of how many habitable worlds could exist, writes astrobiologist Natalie Cabral in one of the book's essays.
That's made me remember what my topic is going to be.
Oh yeah?
Exoplanets.
Ah.
Next week.
Ooh.
So a bit different.
Cool.
Science.
Tune in, listeners. It'll be a fun one.
Science. Da-da-da. But while Hollywood suggests we should expect to battle their inhabitants, science tells a different story. Here, 5 popular alien myths that aliens debunks. Alright, so aliens would eat us, myth number 1. Movies like The Blob and Critters imagine aliens harvesting humans for food, an unpleasant prospect, you don't fucking say. But it doesn't track with the science of nutrition, writes astrobiologist Lewis Dartnell.
I've met him.
I met him?
Yeah. When I worked at the school, we came and gave a talk to the kids.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude.
Well, he's an astrobiologist, Mike. In order for aliens to get nourishment from eating us, their bodies would have to be capable of processing our molecules like amino acids and sugars. And that requires having a similar biochemistry, a long shot for a species that hails from a different world.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
They might be made up of different things to us.
It's
Eating
true.
us wouldn't give them any nourishment.
And also, if we're harbouring a disease, like say they kill you when you've got a cold.
We'll just look at the
Bushmeat.
one of the worlds.
Look at AIDS.
Look at bushmeat. Someone ate a monkey, you know, who got AIDS.
Yep.
Or fucked a monkey, whichever one you want to believe.
Probably both.
Probably fucked it and ate
Fucked it
it.
and ate it, yeah.
I don't want to predict the order in which it happened. To be fair.
Excuse me.
Squeaker.
It's been a while since someone's farted on the show.
I'm leaving that in.
You can leave that in, I'm not ashamed. We'll do it.
Comic.
We all fart.
Everybody poops.
Yeah.
Aliens will breed with us.
Again, not happening.
I'm down for it. I've always wanted a green
To be
skinned
fair,
alien.
that thick green one out of Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd do it.
Oh, let's not forget the Star Trek.
There's a green one in Star Trek.
The green with the red hair. Oh.
Leia, technically an alien. Do her.
But we can't breed with chimps, so how the hell would they breed with us?
I'd give it a go with Chewbacca. Would you say no if he asked you?
Well, you're going to rip your arms off if you do. So,
You never know. He
looks
could
like
be the bearer of the children.
Fuck
you
me
never
up.
know.
In that situation, I'm probably going to want to be the giver.
I don't think Chewie's a giver.
I don't think he's giving you a
receiver.
choice, to be honest.
I don't think Chewie's a power bottom in this scenario.
Fuck.
Sorry,
We're going to
guys.
lube up first.
I'm bringing out some of my forces kind of mentality now. my weirdness.
Aliens would look like us. Alright, well,
Good possibility.
I think there's a possibility, but apparently that human evolution depends on so many unique and unpredictable factors.
Yeah, there is that.
It's near impossible that an extraterrestrial species would have human-like features like the aliens in the day the Earth stood still in Star Trek. It's far likelier, writes neuroscientist Anil Seth, that they'd be as different as the octopus, our very own terrestrial alien, which has a high level of intelligence, a decentralised nervous system, and an alternative style of consciousness.
So they're saying they'd be as different from us as octopuses would to us.
Yeah.
But then you've got the Nordics and the Greys and that, which are
It's humanoid,
similar
aren't they?
to
Yeah.
us. So
And in bad taste, a humanoid.
That's only what's come out of our own imagination. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
no.
And it's easier to cast people as things that look like humans.
But then if you go back to where the Eisenhower episode,
Yeah, the Nordics.
and the Nordics and
The
the Greys,
Greys, they're humanoid.
It could all be
real.
bullshit for fuck's sake.
Oh, it could be.
It
but
could be,
it
but
could be real.
every single alien interaction that people have reported has had humanoid figures.
Yeah. And if they were interested in our world, obviously they've got the capabilities and technology to see what our atmosphere is, etc. So the only reason they're going to have any interest in our world is if they can survive in our atmosphere. Therefore, they're going to have similar makeups like oxygen.
They'll be
they're gonna have
carbon-based
lungs.
life forms, aren't
There's
they?
going to be exactly. So you could imagine that if there are aliens that come here, chances are they are going to be humanoid to an
No,
extent.
because the chances are that a planet is exactly like ours is pretty rare.
Oh yeah, but it only has to be.
We'll look at exoplanets next week and you'll see all the different variety of planet.
Yeah.
Life might form from silicone, it might not even
This is
form
why
from-
they're not exactly like humans. They're just humanoid, so they're upright,
No.
2 legs, 2 arms.
Head, 2 eyes,
Eight.
2 of everything.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like they're human-like. So if they're having similar environments to us, which would be the only reason they'd come
and a
here,
similar
probably.
course of evolution, very similar.
Yeah.
And dinosaurs would have to have died out at pretty much the same time. Because otherwise, dinosaurs
Why
would.
would it have had to
Because
have been
mammals wouldn't have ruled the earth. We wouldn't have.
What if
evolved.
their planet was formed before the Earth's? It's older than the Earth, and they've had a lot of civilized. They've had evolution
Doesn't
longer.
matter. They've got to have the same evolution, the same evolutionary tree.
And they've had. Oh,
But all this is completely theoretical because we ain't got a fucking clue.
Oh no.
It's one of them.
Just
Isn't
unlikely.
it? It's an endless topic.
Yeah. Neil deGrasse Tyson said that the most sort of logical thing portrayed in culture and movies would be the Blob.
I've heard that as well. I've heard that before.
The most likely sort of form of alien.
Yeah, I can buy that.
Well, if anybody's watched the Seth MacFarlane
the Orville.
Orville,
I haven't
that's
seen that yet.
there is a blob in that, and he's fucking hilarious.
Right, let's go on to myth number 4. Aliens be living creatures. We don't know. They could be robots.
Yep. Most likely would be.
Like the lackeys that sent
Yeah.
out like
Who-
drones almost.
Who can live forever? No, the power.
Yeah.
Tom's got power.
Or
They're
robots
civilised-
that have taken over another Earth-type place, killed
BSG.
them all off,
Bit
Yeah.
of Battlestar Galactica
killed them
scenario.
all off, and now they're coming out, you know, to other planets.
Yeah, possibility.
Looking for other carbonate forms, like
Yeah, strip us of our raw materials.
Looking for beef.
Although they say that aliens wouldn't steal our raw materials. The earth and water and metal. The aliens in Independence Day famously allowed to strip Earth of its resources. But again, that logic doesn't add up. Right, it's dark now. Most of our metal is in the Earth's core, like its crust. Asteroids will be far better targets on mining, and icy moons like Jupiter's Europa will be easier places to stock up on water. They're uninhabited and they don't have Earth's strong gravitational pull. So if aliens aren't interested in harvesting our bodies or our lands, why would they make contact? Dark now suggests a purer motive. Curiosity. If aliens did come to Earth, he writes, it would probably be as researchers, biologists, anthropologists, linguists, keen to understand the peculiar workings of life on Earth, to meet humanity and learn of our art, music, culture, languages, philosophy and religions. Presumably then we should hide all our alien movies.
they're more likely to come towards us, look at what's going on, and go, "Fuck that! I'll leave them to it."
No, but you would have watched, don't you?
He missed out the probers.
Where's the probing, damn it?
With the probers.
I guess they're the biologists.
Yeah.
Alright, mate, if they're like a really advanced civilization and they're completely peaceful because they're so advanced they've done away with war and they don't need it, then fine. That's great, that's wonderful. We're taking a huge gamble on that. It could be someone who's a bit more further along than us, a bit like us in nature, who's like, well, these boys need a good kicking because they got shit we want, because that's what we do. Isn't it? Look at every single time
Yeah, but
mankind.
he just said the resources would be easy to plunder from elsewhere. You'd have to fight the humans to get it.
No, but maybe you want to take the world whole because you can live here after. You're a conquerors.
If
They
they
can
won't
submit
eat
to their
us,
will.
the only thing I can think of is slaves.
That's it. They could just use slave labour and strip our planet dry. They haven't got to do anything then.
No, I'm not on about that. They'd take us as slaves somewhere else and work somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, maybe. The human race would die out. We'd just be consigned to a race of slaves.
Yep.
Which I'm sure some people will find erotic.
And forced to worship our alien overlords.
And I, for one, welcome our new alien overlords. Can't be any worse than the ones we've got now.
Well, they might only have a 2-day week on an alien planet.
Yeah, but that week could be like the full 7 days. But it's just classed as 2 for them.
700-hour long days.
Yeah.
Damn! Sounded good.
Right, I think we should end the episode there then.
Fucked up facts.
If you want, yeah.
Yeah.
Jingle, please.
Facts, fucked up facts, facts. Fucking hell. Alright, Pavarotti. Go on then, Mike, hit us with some facts.
Some ancient insects have been found preserved in amber halfway through a fart.
Oh great, so that means we're going to get some kind of fart dinosaur.
And I'm looking at a picture now of a gas bubble emerging from the rectum of a Dominican amber cockroach.
Wow. Isn't nature wonderful?
No one wants to see.
Oh yeah, go on, have a look at that.
Okay.
Lovely. Oh, stunning.
There you go, Ben, have a gander.
That's looking incredible. Looks like a prolapsed anus. Isn't nature wonderful?
It's just shitting itself. Like, what's going on? Dead.
The invention of glass spectacles in the late 13th century lengthened the professional life of scholars and craftspeople by 15 years or more.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, of course.
Yes, there's all them monks doing the old calligraphy. It's quite fine, isn't it?
Mm.
Yep, can't see this anymore. Right, you're binned off. Get
Yeah.
the young lads in.
Off you fuck.
The first wireless TV remote control was a 1955 pistol-shaped Flashmatic by Zenith.
Pistol shape.
I love it, why not?
An American company, I'm assuming.
I imagine so. It was
Pistol
marketed
shaped.
as a flash gun that would let the viewer shoot off annoying commercials from across the room.
I like that.
And why shouldn't fucking remotes be gun-shaped? I love it. But in 1950s, yeah, why shouldn't they be gun-shaped? How easy would that be?
Not nowadays, though, with all your buttons you'd need on it.
Right.
In them days, when it was literally change channel, volume, off, 3 channels, whatever it would have
You
been.
could just go up and down, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, your info button, your pause button, your record button. There's too many buttons, you're right, Pete. It wouldn't work nowadays.
Unless you had them all down the side of the barrel.
Well, you'd have to have more down the side of the
It'd
barrel,
be
but then that
pointless.
defeats the object of having the gun then,
Yeah,
doesn't
it'd
it?
be pointless.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way around it, but I can't. But I like the idea back then. You have a revolver, so 6 channels. boom, boom, boom. That'd be
Russian
ace.
roulette tonight, baby.
Yeah.
There is a creature that is named after the Titanic. Can anyone guess what kind of creature it might be?
Something that floats.
A whale? Or something that sinks?
Something that sinks.
I've got no idea.
It's a metal-eating bacteria.
Oh shit, that's the thing that's killing it.
The
Killing the wreck.
Halomanus titanicae, deep-dwelling and metal-eating species of bacteria that was discovered for the first time in 2010 on a rusting iron of the Titanic.
Okay,
Yeah, because it's
so-
the Titanic wreck's gonna fall apart by 2030. It's gonna be it's just gonna disintegrate. Won't be
I thought it
there.
was just rusting.
No, it's these little
Normal
creatures that eat
rusting
the
process.
metal. All the wooden bits have gone as well. They've been eaten by little worms. And the metal's being feasted on by this like it's like an algae-like rust thing. Eats the metal. It's going to be gone by 2030, I think they reckon. Maybe a bit later, but it's going to collapse on itself. It wasn't in great shape when it hit the bottom anyway.
No, I doubt it was.
Long way down, isn't it, that one?
A
Three.
few miles, yeah.
I think it's a couple of miles, yeah. 2 or 3 miles, maybe. Don't quote me wrong on that, listener. Don't quote me on that, but yeah. Sunk for insurance fraud. Check our episode of the Titanic.
In Nahuatl, the language spoken by the Aztecs and still spoken in Mexico.
I believe it's called Mexico.
Mexico. Gold is translated as yellow divine excrement and silver as white divine excrement.
Interesting.
Cool.
Because they didn't think gold was that valuable because they had shit tons of it, didn't they? So when the conquistadors turned up, and there's a fucking definition of audacity, Hernan Cortez rocking up with 150 guys and a couple of cannons and taking on the Aztec Empire and stealing all their gold, they were just like, yeah, take the gold, white devil. We don't care about it. It's just, we got loads of that. It's fucking worthless to us. Of course, to Spain and that, Europe, gold's like the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely get more viewers on Aussie gold hunters, wouldn't it?
Well, they were fighting Aztecs.
Aussie yellow
excrement.
What is it? Aussie yellow divine excrement hunters. It's maybe not quite as catchy.
Definitely, yeah. Or they were fighting Aztecs. Spanish gold hunters, 1560. That's a show I'd watch. Why is there never a show of that? Actually, the Conquistadors.
He did. The Mysterious Cities of Gold.
Oh, that wasn't.
It was brilliant. I loved it as a kid.
Yeah, but it's no good now. You do a really good sort of fucking Game of Thrones style show on that, all the little political twists in the background. Anyway, enough of my pitching stuff to Netflix. They'll buy anything.
Next fact.
Yep.
Isaac Newton was such a bad teacher that no one enrolled in his classes. Since his contract required he teach, he sometimes lectured to an empty room.
Shame, really, isn't it? He didn't get to impart his knowledge on people.
Yeah, but
He did in his books.
He was really massively autistic and couldn't communicate.
There's nothing better than actual, like, physical learning, is there? You can read and read, but if somebody's
Talking
showing
at
you
you.
and talking at you, you can take that in a lot better.
I tell you what, it makes a hell of a difference whether you have a good teacher or a bad teacher.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It's just a shame he was a bad teacher, isn't it? Because he could have made a lot more with his knowledge.
Well, he was just sitting under apple trees waiting for one to fall on his head.
I bet he was one of them monotone teachers that was just like.
I thought you did the Rocky theme then.
I've been to his house in the Tower of London, Isaac Newton. Walked the same cobbles as him.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Tower of London?
Yeah, he lived in the Tower of London when he was head of the Royal Mint. That's where the mint was.
Didn't realise that. I probably walked there as well.
Did he ponce around in a fine wig?
I don't know if I'd imagine that he may have well have ponced. I don't know. I can't comment. There are rumours about his sexuality. I'm not sure if they're true or not, as no one can be. Did he have a wig on? Yeah, maybe. Twas the fashion at the time, like tying an onion to your belt. Simpsons quote. Tied an onion to my belt. As was a star at the time.
Here's one for you, Ben.
Go on then. This is
life or death to you.
All right, go on.
It is illegal to mispronounce Arkansas while in Arkansas.
No way. I'm dead. If I ever go to Arkansas, I'm dead.
Till you get the death sentence.
You keep doing it, sir. Why did you? I can't remember it.
This goddamn Arkansas law.
Oh, you do it again. You just beat me with nightsticks. The only white guy to get beaten to death by white cops with truncheons. Who's going to take a knee for me, though?
How do you mispronounce Arkansas?
Because it looks like you should say it, Arkansas.
That's how it reads.
That's how it reads.
Okay.
But it's not, it's Arkansas, and I do it every
I'm not sure if
fucking...
I've ever looked at the word.
I do it every fucking time. Or most times, anyway. Because that's... When I read it, I'm visualising the word in my head, and I go, Arkansas. Every fucking time, it's Arkansas. Shocking.
And I'll finish on this one.
Please don't. You need to jizz everywhere.
Well, it's a guess one, actually. Can anyone guess how many shipwrecks lie on the ocean floor?
Oh, guys in the millions.
How would they know?
Well, yeah.
Documented,
I'm not
I
sure
guess.
about millions.
Alright, then I'm going to go 600,000.
I'm going to go 1.1 million.
Oh, Claire.
I'm going to go 300,000.
Hang on. What dates are we looking at? That's an important
Any-
point.
Any dates, isn't it?
Oh,
Through history, yeah.
it all documented.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going 300,000.
I go 650,000. I want to go in between 600,000 and 7,000.
Well, Ben, you should have stuck to your guns. Pete wins.
Oh wow!
It's 3 million.
No way.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, I drifted off my point, thinking like, they won't be looking at every fucking ship that's ever sank
That's what I was thinking.
is
I was
like
thinking how many
is in
ships-
a million.
I was thinking, well, it's
No, I
got
was
to
like,
have been
well,
at least
if-
a million.
Then I was like, if they're documenting them, how many is it? So I went a bit lower. That was my reasoning, because if they're documenting, well, insurance purposes and things like that, and in more modern ones, because there's not that many ships go down, is there nowadays? Really?
You're not going to find much reminiscence of them either.
Then you got to look at war wrecks and all that, haven't you?
See, you shouldn't have just blurted out a number. You should have thought of this first.
That's what I do.
Instinct. You said a few mil.
I know, I did, and then I thought, no, because of documenting it and stuff like that, how many really are there that we know about? I mean, obviously there's been pretty double, what was it, the 3 million Pete said?
That's a
1.1.
If there's 3 million you said, Mike, there's really double that, triple that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the time that we weren't recording. Sure.
Yeah.
No, it says estimated, so I guess they took that into account.
Ah, right. I'm going to disagree with their estimation.
We'll take it up with whoever.
I'll take it up with the QILs.
Some maritime person.
Oh, I'll punch Captain Haddock in the fucking face if I have to. And on that note, let's end the show. I've been Ben. Thanks for listening. Much appreciated. Don't drink the Flavour Aid and don't join a cult.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
I've been Claire. Keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. Aim high, shoot low.
My bro.